Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, ages 17 and up. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. Big Bad Workshop and Fresh Monkey Fiction. The Order of the Crimson Moon. Nice big window showcasing the figure and most of the accessories. Major Noir. And there's the, I guess that's the symbol for the Order of the Crimson Moon. On the bottom, don't give it to babies. And don't stick things in any language pie hole that doesn't belong there. There's the barcode, says Major Noir on it. On this side, Order of the Crimson Moon, and we've got Crimson Moon artwork here, and their symbol, Major Noir, Big Bad Workshop at BigBadToyStore.com. And on this side, Order of the Crimson Moon, same artwork and everything, same symbol, Major Noir, FreshMonkeyFiction.com, and there's their logo. Then on the back, the Order of the Crimson Moon, and if you want to pause it right here and read this top part, please feel free to do so at this time. And then moving to the character-specific part, if you want to pause it right here and read that, please do so at this time. And then we've got some nice artwork of Major Noir. Here's the cross sale. Complete your collection. Count Iron Moon, Legionnaire, Wolfsbane, Exterminator, Order of the Crimson Moon, Noir, Elite Guardsman, and Trooper. Find out more at Fresh Monkey Fiction. And then here's Big Bad Workshop, Fresh Monkey Fiction, and additional accessories by Gridiron Studios, gridironprops.com. Small font, legally used print right there. And that, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at all these great accessories. And first up, he has a knife, and looks like a gray blade and black handle to me. So very nice. It does have some nice molded details in it. Rings there molded into the handle, and a groove there in the knife, and a bit of a blade on it as well, so that's cool looking. Next up, we have a smoke effect for his firearm, made out of clear plastic, just a wolf of smoke. It's got a post on it right here that ports into the end of the barrel. And same thing with this blast effect. It's got a post here on the end, and it's made out of a nice translucent plastic that does have a color fade from dark to light as you progress down it. He does have a bunch of extra hands, so this one is not part of a set, it's by itself. And it's a pointing finger. I told you not to do that. So nice molded details in there. Gloves. It's got some knuckle support in there for, you know, knocking stuff around. And he's definitely pointing at someone. Next up, we have a set of grip hands. And they are on in and out hinges. And that pointing finger is on a up and down hinge, yeah. So in and out hinge here, same molded details of the glove and stuff. And it's a grip hand. Same thing for this one, only it is for the opposite side. Next up, a set of fists on in and out hinges and those same glove details. And this one is the same, only just the opposite side. And then we've got a set of reaching out splayed finger hands. And again, those same glove details. And then again, this one is the same, just the opposite side. Next up, he's got two sets of white werewolf hands. And this is a set of grip hands on an up and down hinge. You can see there's lots of nice fur sculpted in there. And white paint and whitewash. Well, gray wash maybe. Or maybe it's gray paint and whitewash. I don't know. And then he's got black for his talons. And again, it's on an up and down hinge, and there are two of those, a left and a right. And then the kind of not as splayed out as the human hands, but I guess resting hands. These are more like resting hands, but the same, you know, sculpt details and the same paint details. And these are on in and out hinges. Let me look at the palm. We did now. There we go. Alright, next up we have his firearm. And it's a kind of a retro futuristic-y look to it. Very kind of Star Wars-y, where they took a real gun and kibbled it up to look like something more fantastic. And that's the look this kind of has to it. There's a lot of kibbly looking pieces on it, even though it's, you know, molded in there. That's just the way it looks. Does the clip come out? The clip is removable. So that's cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? The first extra head and neck. So I don't know if you armor him up or this is just you make a different, like a more soldiery character out of it, but it's cool looking. White tampos for the eyes, tampo for the Order of the Crimson Moon logo on there, and the rest of it is all black plastic. It looks like hoses would go in here or something, but maybe this is reused from another character that has hoses that go to a backpack or something. I don't know. We'll see if I get some more of these guys. So then the next head and neck we have is his werewolf transformation, and he's got some nice, just solid white there on the face with some black around the eyes and across the nose. So almost kind of like a war paint. And then tons of sculpted detail in there, all that fur, and then gray and white So just, and then the teeth, really cool looking. Next up we have his hat, which is solid black except for the braiding around the front, which is red. And then the logo for Order of the Crimson Moon there on the top of his hat. Nice molded detail in there for the braid. And then the bill. And it's a very World War II Nazi Germany looking. I was trying to avoid saying that, but I meant World War II German soldier. But, and I mean, just the whole look of the guy is kind of that look too. Reminds me of that anyway. And then here we have the stand. It's got 2 pegs on it. It's got paint bits on it as well, where they've come off of the pieces of the figure. The Order of the Crimson Moon tampoed on there very nicely. Nothing to see under here. And that's it for the accessories. So let's take a look at the figure himself. And the white hair, and then the darker facial hair. I don't know. It reminds me of Sean Connery for some reason. But it's cool looking. So we got white here for the hair. He's got, you know, pretty clear blue eyes there. At least they look blue to me. And then the eyebrows, the mustache, the soul patch. And he's kind of got a smirk on his face. Kind of Ramirez from Highlander look to him. Just give him a big hat with the big peacock feather in it. So there we've got some Order of the Crimson Moon tampos on there, along with some red around the collar. This overlay, again, it's a kind of a thin overlay, and that seems to be the production run for Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction. And that's fine, because, you know, it being thin, it doesn't hinder anything up, but over time it may have issues. I don't know. We'll have to see in time. So we've got some paint app here for the belt that goes across, and the belt at his waist, the braid here, and then we've got red up here with a white outline at the shoulder, and then again at the cuffs of the jacket. And that's pretty much it, unless there's some paint apps hiding under this overlay, which there could be. I don't know. So let's talk about his articulation. So at the top of the neck, there is a ball and hinge joint, and it lets him look up that high. There's a ball joint or half dumbbell here at the bottom of the neck. He can look down that low. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. He's got attitude. And he can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, it's on butterfly hinge, so it goes back that far. It'll go forward that far. 360 degrees of rotation there as well. He can raise his arm up at the shoulder very nicely, way past 90 degrees. There's a cut here at the upper bicep. Full 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, which is buttery smooth. It gives you that much bend. And then at the wrist, 360 degrees of rotation. And it's an up and down hinge for trigger finger hand, and up and down on this side as well. I think there's a cut in the torso, like where the chest and the abdomen meet, but I can't see in there, so I can't tell you for sure. I know there's a ball joint or half dumbbell here at the waist, and it gives him some hula. It gives him 360 degrees of rotation. He can lean left and right, and he leans back that far. and he crunches forward that far. At the hips, it's on a drop down hinge, and you can see this overlay here at the bottom has slits in the side so that you can get some of the articulation done. In fact, I think that's pretty much all of it. That's all the splits he will give you, and this could be hindering it up a little bit, but I don't think that it is. So we got interrupted there by a little phone hiccup. So we were talking about the leg articulation. He gives you that much of the splits. He kicks forward that far, and I think the overlay may be pushing back a little bit there, and then back that far, and I don't think the overlay is hindering anything there. He's got a cut here at the upper thigh, 360 degrees worth of rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and we'll turn it sideways. Buttery smooth bend to it, and it gives you that much range. And then at the top of the shin, he does have a boot cut, and it gives you another 360 degrees worth of rotation. At the ankle, tilts way down like that. Tilts up pretty good too. And then he does have a pin for rocker. Now, as far as storage of his stuff, he does not have a holster for his firearm. He does have a sheath for his knife, though, down there on his boot. And, of course, it wants to slide down as I'm trying to put the knife in it. So the knife fits in there very nicely. And then you can scoot that back up, and it stays on there okay. So there's how the knife fits. As far as the rest of the stuff, he has to hold his gun. And he has to wear his hat. And that's pretty much it for his storage, my friends. I'll have to work on that head a little bit. Stand up, you. And there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure, his accessories, and limited storage options. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, The Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Battle Armor Cobra Commander, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Destro, and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Target Exclusive Cobra Island Major Blood. Here we have the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, The Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry, and the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Scarab. Here we have the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, The Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, with the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper and the Skeletron Red Shadows Assault Trooper. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Big Bad Workshop, Fresh Monkey Fiction, The Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Big Bad Workshop, Fresh Monkey Fiction, The Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, I have to say, with this line, I have done a little bit of research, and some of this you've probably heard if you watch the Count Iron Moon review. And that, you know, I feel like this guy is heavily inspired by the Battle Action Force line from Palitoy back in the 80s. And this guy would have been the Black Major in there. So Black Major, Major Noir, hope you got that there. So he was a high-ranking official in the Red Shadows, who was the Battle Action Force's primary foe. And it was Battle Action Force, and then I think it went to just Action Force, and then to G.I. Joe. And where this guy fits in after it transfers over to G.I. Joe, I'm not sure. I know there were some Black Major and the Red Shadows. You know, those guys had some appearances in G.I. Joe comic books by Larry Hama, where he continued off his Marvel run for IDW. So they did appear in that universe. So if you wanted to use these guys for that in your classified stuff, you could do that. It's very plausible for that. But in the continuity, when they switched over to G.I. Joe, like Red Shadows failed, and then they rebranded as Cobra and that kind of stuff. So this guy was the Black Major in that line. So now he's Major Noir, and he can turn into a werewolf. So that's pretty cool. And I love that Crimson Moon turning into werewolf kind of thing that they threw onto it. And, you know, if you're really interested in that original Action Force line, you know, you can research it online. There's books out about it too. And you can always, you know, look up the old comic books as well if you wanted to do that. Now, as far as this particular figure goes, I like it. I kind of wish he had a holster for his firearm, although I don't know where it would really go and fit with the, you know, the aesthetic that they're going for here. But I like the head sculpt. It looks very Sean Connery as Ramirez from Highlander to me, personally. Now, your mileage may vary. It may look like somebody completely different to you, like old Burt Reynolds or something. I don't know. But to me, it's a very Sean Connery kind of look, and that's drew me to this figure. And, you know, that's really what made me pick it up. And then, you know, the Action Force connection is kind of just a bonus to that. And when I say Action Force, I mean the Palatoy one, not the Valaverse. Because that Action Force is name only for the Valaverse stuff. I don't think there was any of the original Palatoy characters carried over anything else. Because I want to say maybe they're owned by Hasbro now. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what all the rights issues there were. So, but yeah, I think this guy is really cool looking, even though he has that World War II German soldier officer aesthetic to it. You know, you can say lots of things about those guys and how evil and shit they were, but you know, they knew how to dress and they knew how to build stuff. That might be the only thing you can say about them from that period that was good. Everything else not great. But definitely when you're porting in the smoke effect and the blast effect into the gun, be very careful. I damn near broke the peg off of the blast effect as I was putting it in here. It's very tight. It didn't want to go. I may end up breaking it off as I'm trying to get it out of the weapon. I don't know. I hope not. And there's nothing you can really do to fix that. But so the barrel is a very tight fit for the blast effect. I haven't tried to put the smoke effect into it yet. But the look of this guy, he's very evil looking. He's very diabolical. He turns into a werewolf. You can change the head to, you know, make him a werewolf, or change his head to make him a soldier of some kind for Red Shadows. Or, excuse me, Crimson Moon, the Order of the Crimson Moon. So, but yeah, I like this figure. I like this line. I'm really thinking, I only picked up 3 of them at Joe Fest, and I'm really thinking about picking up some more out of this line, especially as my G.I. Joe pickups are dropping off, because they're just doing more and more characters that I just have no interest in for that line. So, well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.